Hey gang, it's JC and this is your Daily Dose for Wednesday, January 19th, 2011, a cooperative venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. We have archives at the top of the page. We have eye candy along the bottom. Great eye candy today, particularly good one. I had to pause for a moment to remind myself that it is January 19th because as I look outside my window here, I got a guy who still has his Christmas lights, not just up, but on. And they're on like from dusk until dawn. 19th of January. I kind of wait to see like when they're going to come down, or at least when he's going to shut them off. So, I mean, it's going to look real pretty with the snow tonight and everything like that. We'll get to that in just a minute. Anyhow, where are we here? I've lost my train of thought. Yeah, I've been off for the last couple of days because I have been sick. And I don't mean sick, I mean sick. Like TV off sick. When I turn the TV off, you know I'm sick. And Smash, by the way, and Trish did a wonderful job. Victoria also helped out too on the Big 550 KTRS, where we are on the air every day from 11. No, that's not right. My mind has been diseased by fever. We're on the air from 10 until 1 every day on the Big 550 KTRS. A big thanks to Smash and Trish and Victoria for helping out and covering for me while I was sick. I still have one of those voices that's lower than a pound of whale crap. But we're going to forge ahead and see what we can do. This thing has been going around, and the biggest mistake that I made was trying to work through it, because today is the 6-week mark from when I actually got this thing. So I think that what happened is things finally caught up with me, and I was working sick for the last 6 weeks. So, you know, after a period of time, your body says, that's it, we're done. And that's what happened to me over the weekend. I got really sick on Saturday. Sunday wasn't any better. You don't want to hear this, do you? Because you're probably sniffling and everything like that. But I mean, I was like down. So here we go. We're trying to recover and get back into the swing of things. And there's lots of excitement in St. Louis because, you know, we've had predictions here the last couple of snowfalls where they're like, oh my God, look out, we could get 6 to 12 inches and all this sort of stuff. And we get, you know, 2 or 3 or 4, maybe like that. So what we have now is we have an entire community of people who is, you know, just not really open to the idea of believing weather forecasts. I think Fox 2 this morning is saying 6 to 8 inches in St. Charles County. And I think like 4 to 7 here in St. Louis, probably on the high side of that 4 to 7. And there's a lot of people who just refuse to believe it because they've been burned now enough times. I get the sneaking suspicion that they're not wrong this time. So as this whole thing is supposed to start snowing about 7 or 8 o'clock tonight, and we'll just see where we are tomorrow morning at this time, okay? But I could be leaving real early for work. Let's just put it that way. Speaking of, oh, you know, and the other thing too is this. I will occasionally still get a snide comment on an email from somebody who's like, you're on AM radio, I guess you got to do what you got to do. Well, first of all, what's happening on FM is just deplorable. Yesterday, my former employer let Laurie Mack go, and Laurie was a wonderful asset to that station or any station, and just what's going on in this business now, it just makes me sick. So that's number one. Number two, you know, when you get into any sort of emergency situation, and that would include also like, you know, heavy snow or the sort of snow or weather conditions, tornadoes, whatever the case may be, where a radio station or a media outlet could actually help you. Let's just keep a couple of things in mind about what's going on AM radio versus FM. And again, I don't, you know, have disdain for FM radio. I'm just telling you what the situation is right now, because of many factors, consultants, a new rating system, all sorts of stuff that's been going on the FM dial that's really impacted radio stations that play music. Let's just put it this way. When you are listening to FM radio these days and you hear somebody talking, and it could be 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, chances are that what you're listening to is recorded at 7 or 8 o'clock that morning. There's this thing called voice tracking. Somebody a couple of years ago figured out a way to record all of the announcer breaks, if you will, into a computer and make it sound like there's somebody on the radio when there isn't. And as a matter of fact, there's a lot of radio stations in this community right now. From about 6 o'clock on the FM side, from about 6 o'clock on, there's nobody even in the building. And it sounds like, well, I'm hearing a guy say that was Aerosmith on what's station. But that was all recorded that morning. It's just been put into a computer. There's software that makes it sound like there's actually somebody there. One way that you can tell is when they read a weather forecast but don't give a temperature. You know why? Because they can't. They have no idea what the temperature is going to be at 8 o'clock at night when the show is being recorded at 8 o'clock that morning. Consequently, as a matter of fact, John McCain, when he was campaigning years back, there was some congressional subcommittee or something reported that there had been some sort of gas leak or something. It was somewhere in Montana or Nevada or something like that. And people weren't getting evacuated properly. It's like, well, where was the media? Where were the radio stations? And it was called to his attention that, when it gets past about 6 o'clock at night, what has happened now on a lot of the FM and even some of the AM stations, everything is either in syndication, meaning it's coming in off a satellite, or there's nobody really there. Those shows have been voice tracked, recorded earlier in the day. And he got pretty worked up about that, but, like a lot of things, it just sort of came and went, and nothing ever happened after that. But the point I'm trying to make is, on FM, you're not going to get anything that is tantamount to an update on something that's happening at that time. I mean, I could tell you one station, there's not a person live on the air in the building from 2 o'clock in the afternoon until 6 o'clock the following morning. And it's one of the big FM radio stations in this town. Everything's pre-recorded. Think about that. From 2 o'clock every afternoon until 6 o'clock the next morning, that is all pre-recorded programming. So, long and the short of it is, if you want to know what's going on with the weather, if we end up getting 6, 7, 8, 10 inches of snow here, and you have snow emergencies and closings and things like that, you're not going to get FM updates. You're going to get updates on the AM band, and we're right in the thick of all that, so whatever. All right, now, as you know, I have a bit of disdain for the KSDK feature called I'm Just Saying, and it reached new levels of hilarity last night when a guy from Afton came on and started trashing American Idol, which, of course, comes back on the air for a new season tonight on Fox. And his rap basically was that he is a musician. And I could tell because he was dressed in all black and he was wearing like a ski cap. He thinks he's Kurt Cobain. And was talking about the fact that this has been the criticism of American Idol for almost 10 years now. Oh, it's just karaoke. It's just televised karaoke. Well, not really. First of all, there's a band, so that's not karaoke. So let's get with that. But he's offended because he's a musician and he's got to be on the road and he's pushing his music. And this is actually hurting, I'm using his words, hurting honest, hardworking musicians. All right, Jeff was the guy's name. Jeff, we give it to you straight here, okay? If you're going to be in entertainment, you're going to be in show business, any aspect of show business, you do whatever you need to do to get noticed, to get airplay, to get notoriety, to get publicity. You do whatever you need to do to get noticed. And first of all, the singers on American Idol, by and large, are not some grunge band that's in a van traveling throughout the Midwest. They're pop singers. They're not going to hurt you. And it's just a ridiculous commentary, and even more ridiculous that Channel 5 continues to put these people on the air. But, you do what you got to do. And for some people, that's the path. And for other people, being on the road 6 days a week, that's the path. Different strokes for different folks. But don't be trying to sell me some nonsense about how American Idol is evil. It's a game show. It's a competition, and they put these people through the rigors of the whole thing, and at the end you say, okay. And at the end, really, you really think that your local band here in St. Louis has been adversely affected by the fact that Clay Aiken, who didn't even win, came in second place, gets to do Broadway now? It's just a ridiculous thing. All right, those, every once in a while you hear about these loony sort of nut jobs who believe that the world is coming to an end in 2012, next year. Well, it turns out, according to Seth Rogen, who is doing a lot of publicity these days for the Green Hornet, said that he overheard George Lucas and Steven Spielberg in a conversation and says that George Lucas is one of those people. George Lucas believes that the world is coming to an end next year. You never know who you're sitting next to. I can tell you that. All right, what do we got here? That's it. I'm still trying to get it together here, piecing things together. You can take off work 2 days. Plus, I hear my baby screaming down the hallway, so I better see what's going on. you take 2 days off and it's almost like, whoa, what happened? So it's going to take me a day or two to get back into the swing of things here, but a lot of excitement, everything going on with the snowstorm. Got a hunch that this one could be a whopper. Let's see what happens. JC's eye candy today. Oh my God. All right, so I remember watching on Larry Rice's TV station not long ago on Saturday night, this old guy with glasses who was playing the piano or organ, I think it was piano, and his wife would stand next to him and sing. It was some sort of old-time gospel hour or something, and it was just hilarious. So this husband and wife couple, I want to say it was down in the South somewhere. He's wearing like a camouflage baseball hat. They took the Battle Hymn of the Republic and made a tribute song to Sarah Palin. This is hilarious. And the video of them singing the song, performing this thing, near the end of the song, I don't know who he's waving at or what's going on or what he wants, but you got to see this. It's on JC's Eye Candy. It's right below what you're looking at right now. Check it out. Battle Hymn of the Republic, changed into a tribute song to Sarah Palin. All right. That's it, the Daily Dose for Wednesday, January 19th, 2011, a combined operation along with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. We're on the air every day on the Big 550 KTRS from 10 o'clock until 1. In the meantime, we've beaten this one to death. Have a good one. See you later. Bye.